But right now, let's get into trending topics. We've got those for you, so let's talk through them.
Oh, shall we?
Yeah.
And starting off with, first up, hashtag CR17 bank statements. And this, of course, has to do with the public protector story that you will be taking forward with Natasha Mazzoni of the DA shortly. So basically, people are saying, you know, you've got all of this going on with the public protector, and the real reason why the public protector is being maligned is because she dared to touch on this particular matter of unsealing the CR17 bank statements. So, you know, this is what it's all about, Leanne, and going back and forth, left and right, all over the show.
Absolutely. It's a very, very big one. In fact, here we go. Here's one from the first one that jumps up. Kaya Ndubana saying, I have not seen one journalist interrogating Ramaphosa on the CR17 bank statements like they did with the EFF-EBS issue, and they claim to be impartial. That is just one comment. Here's another one, Afrozania, saying not even one journalist in South Africa is interested in CR17 bank statements, but they had the nerve to camp at President Jacob Zuma's Nkandla just to report who's coming in and out. There's so much impartiality. Without prejudice, SA journalism is dead. We have political parties masquerading as journalists.
This one says, from VN Galwana says, something is up. I'm not really curious about what's in those CR17 statements. Every journalist who believes in transparency of public figures' definition of journalism should be keen to expose the contents of those statements, not writing op-eds for sealing them. Something's up.
All right, so it's not the first time this hashtag CR17 bank statement has trended. In fact,
it's been trending for a while.
All the time. It really does, and particularly when you get the mention of the public protector's name, this always comes up as a massive talking point. So there we go. That's one of the trends. The next trending topic is Brian Molefe back at the State Capture Commission. So this was actually, you remember that he was there, and then there was a big scare with a COVID scare. And I mean, there was so much being said when he appeared at first, and then it had to stop because there was this worry that it was cut short because of a COVID scare at the commission. And of course, Molefe is now back in the seat, expected to face questions on his role in the approval of a 1.68 billion rand bank guarantee, and that was back in December 2015, and a prepayment 4 months later to Gupta and Company to get her. So this is on the back of Motshela Koko, who was there yesterday.
Indeed. It's going to be interesting, once again, to just go over the facts and trying to establish rather the timelines here, because you will remember in between, we've since had some of the board members appear again, and some of them were saying that they thought they were approving payment for Optimum, whereas the payment actually then ends up with Tegeta. So it's going to be interesting to hear. I certainly am salivating. I can't wait to hear all of this.
It was, at the time, it had everybody hanging on, and then suddenly, boom, it was like, okay, he's not coming back without a COVID scare. It's like, what just happened here? And, you know, questions asked about that, but he's back, so let's all hang on once again. Then finally, judges. This one is particularly interesting, and I think it may hang around, you know, something along the lines where ex-Justice Johan Krechler has called for Judge John Hlophe to be suspended after, to quote, clearly wrong acquittal of Bongo. So it is now just turning into judges against judges? Is that what it is? And rulings against rulings?
It's very interesting. It's very curious. And you know, I've spoken to you about this off air. This whole notion of judges being incorruptible. Why would we assume that when there's a very public case, the very same case of Judge President of the Western Cape, John Hlophe, and the Constitutional Court judges. If that was playing out so publicly, why then would we think that they are above reproach? And you say that and people say you are attacking the judiciary.
Exactly.
My question is, are we not allowed to question what goes on? You know, when Judge Krechler makes that statement, some people are asking, so does that constitute an attack?
Yeah.
You know, so what is an attack?
Yeah.
What is fair comment when it comes to the judiciary?
Now that's a topic we need to talk to, because it is an important conversation to be held. It really, really is. You know, our judges are completely against any form of, could we say criticism? Could we say question? And, you know, some judgments are very questionable, and we have to look at those. And this is the one where Freedom Under Law is questioning Judge Hlophe, basically have maintained and still say all along that he is unfit to be a judge. So, you know, what do we do about that? And or do they just get away with that? And they're not allowed to say those things?
Based on how many judges have made questionable rulings?
Yeah.
What does that say? I'm just asking questions.
Okay, well, there you go. I remember. Do you remember doing an interview? I did this interview actually when we were talking about that eventually computers will become judges. Remember that?
Yeah.
Maybe that'll be easier. You take
Cold hard facts.
everything out of it. You take the cold hard facts, and that's all you do. Anyway.
Well,
right.
Lady Justice is supposed to be
She's
blind,
supposed
isn't
to
she?
be, isn't she? Yeah, you're right. Okay, question of the day. Let's get into that one. And I mean, this is obviously on the sort of decision, well, not the decision, but this was handed over to Speaker Thandi Modise. The report has now been put out, and this is what it said. The latest developments around the public protector, Busisiwe Mkhwebane, after that independent review panel found that prima facie evidence exists to institute removal proceeding against her. We want your reaction. What do you think about this?
At Morning Live SABC. All right, we are going to share some of your responses to that question of the day later on in the show.